Welcome to Norfolk Perspective City Slice. I'm Bob Batcher, and United Way of Southampton Roads is here on the sofa. And yes, it's that time of year where you need to be involved. And Carol McCormick, how you doing, President CEO?
I'm doing well, thank you, Bob.
You're on the sofa.
You bet.
And is it, okay, are we in season for raising money now, or are we off season, or is it the end or the beginning?
It's never a bad season to raise money, Bob. Come on.
It's never ending.
Amen.
It never ends. The majority of our season, though, the big part is the fall push. But we'll have companies that are starting campaigns now. In fact, Town Bank starts in June.
Wow. Because you just ended your last campaign.
Yes.
And announced the
That
drum roll, please.
Last week we announced raising $14.2 million. Yes.
Okay. And last year's campaign chair was?
Yes. Oh, last year's campaign chair?
Yeah, last year's
You're not talking about
No,
Dave
I'm not going to get to. I'm not going to get to David yet.
We're going to talk about Bob Boyd. Okay. I was
because
thinking
he's
we were
the
going
big
there.
announcement
Yes.
for the next season.
Yes,
That's
he is.
right.
It's Bob
That's
Boyd.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, because you always have a local
Yes.
volunteer chairman,
Yes.
and the new one for this year is,
Dave Mealy.
how you doing, sir?
I'm
In the
doing
flesh.
well, Bob. How are you?
Absolutely wonderful.
Good.
David, when did you get the call to say, will you chair?
Well, it's sort of a process. I will tell you this about the United Way, Bob, is they are very organized, right? So part of the organization is that there's the chance to be a vice chair for the campaign. So I was actually the vice chair of last year's campaign, which means that you let the chair do all of the work. So Bob did a fantastic job.
He did.
But what it does is it gives you a chance to see how the campaign operates. It's really a chance to participate some, but learn a lot. So it's a multi-stage process, vice chair and now chair of the campaign.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity. I was invited to your luncheon. I couldn't tell if you were announcing the new campaign or the old campaign, but I think you were.
That was called the campaign finale.
Exactly. You
So
were
it is
recognizing
the old campaign. Yes.
And I don't know if he brought pictures or not, but I gotta say, Mayor Sessom's in a bathing suit. It was a one-piecer.
Yes. Yes.
I thought when I saw Dave's name on the schedule as a host, that you'd be coming on in costume. That's not a theme for this year's?
We'll see what next year's theme is, but we will say this. We know that Mayor Sessoms is a very good sport.
Because I understand as
Very
vice
good
chairman, you also are a good sport, though, too.
I will say this. Carol had me dressed as Elvis.
I was going to say, because I had in my script, I was supposed to say Elvis is in the house.
Exactly, but I forgot my leather coat and sideburns today. I'll tell you, it was hot in that
I bet it
costume
was.
that day.
I wanted to bring that up because, really is kind of the, how many years has United Way been doing this?
Oh goodness, this United Way started in I think 1923.
Yeah,
so it's been around for a long time.
So I want to mention this because one of the things I've noticed that as an agency, it has really morphed to be relevant to today, and it's not necessarily just about laying guilt and saying you ought to give money, but it's about bringing about an awareness through some fun too.
Right.
But it has morphed as an organization from being a fundraising only to an advocacy.
Well, advocacy, this is how I explained United Way. At its core, we are about volunteers. We provide a platform, a structure. Dave talked about, we're a very organized organization, but we provide the structure where local volunteers make local decisions about what they want their community to look like. And as part of that, there is a campaign. But we raise money not because people want to give it away.
Right.
We raise money because there are needs. And so there's a lot of effort taken into analyzing needs, evaluating needs, looking at gaps, figuring out how to best and most efficiently respond to the needs of this community. And so it takes a tremendous number of volunteers. In fact, last year, the volunteer hours in that process was about 1,200 hours on the needs analysis and determining where to give away the dollars.
Wow, so it's not just an agency saying, I need, and applying.
No, there's a lot more to it than that. If you think about the fact that, you as a donor, what would you want to know before you decided whether to give money away? And so it is actually donors who have designed the application process. It's donors who've designed the RFP where the agencies fill out the information and give us their information and ask for dollars. We have an entire group of people that are accountants and bankers who look at the agency's finances. They look at their 990s, they look at their audits. They go through them tooth and nail with people who actually know financials and make decisions on are they spending the money correctly? Is it transparent? Do you know what's happening? Is this a good use of our dollars? And then they provide the next set of volunteers, which are the people who actually go out and visit the program. They're also the people who interact with the agency and have the agency come and present to them, how are we using the money? What was the results of what we did? What were the outcomes for the people that we aspire to help? And then based on that, these volunteers make a recommendation about where the dollars are going.
So it's not about, I was a good agency 2 years ago, still a good agent. I mean, nothing's
No.
taken for granted.
Nothing is taken for granted. They go through it piece by piece every year. And it said it's about 1,200 volunteer hours.
Wow, so it kind of really does set the bar
Oh,
as
most
to how the
definitely.
agency should be performing.
Most definitely.
Was this part of the appeal of coming? I mean, because you could be chairman of anything
Right.
that you want to be. I mean, you've been in a
Yep.
position where you know our region.
Right.
Why the United Way?
Yeah, because of the impact. I mean, I think as Carol described, the level of volunteer involvement to figure out where are the needs greatest in this community, and then how can we allocate resources to best meet those. The way I think about it is this community needs the United Way. The United Way then in turn needs volunteers and it needs leadership. So for me, it's just it's a real privilege to be able to volunteer my time and some leadership to the United Way because of the difference that it makes. Understanding the biggest needs in our community and then allocating resources, that's money and time and people to address them.
The world's changing.
Yes.
I was just sitting here for the last 40 years of my work life. I've filled out my pledge card. It's been taken out of my paycheck. I don't even think about it, so it's kind of normal.
Right.
But some people aren't getting paychecks anymore. Some people aren't working for the corporate world or the.
They work at home.
So it's
they do-
changed.
yeah,
So how are you coping with that?
Well, we have other mechanisms to give. Well, on our website, you can always go in and touch Donate Now and fill out your information and donate that way. We also have a text to give option. And so if you're a corporation and for whatever reason a payroll deduction doesn't work for you, and by the way, I have to stress payroll deduction is the biggest benefit to the community there is, period.
I don't have to think about
I
it.
would, yeah,
Right.
and I would never, even me who cares deeply and who's, deeply involved, would never give the amount I give if I couldn't do it through payroll deduction.
Even
to
you?
to write a check for as much
Yeah.
as I donate would make my hand shake. But when I do it in a manner that I can budget for it, and and it's done ahead of
Well, I
time.
never
It's
see it.
Set it and forget
Yeah,
it.
planned
Set it and
giving.
forget it. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, exactly. But not everybody has that opportunity, and so we do have different options. One is the website itself, where you can go and donate, but we also now have a text to give option that we can set up for you. And so even if I'm a corporation and I'm in such a situation that payroll deduction doesn't work for me, we can do a text to give option, mobile giving for your employees even, right on their cell phone.
Wow. So
things
you're going to
have
get the money no
changed.
matter what.
Things have changed. If we can, we will.
A theme over the years of people who've come on and talked on the sofa, and I have a lot of the nonprofits that come in, thank goodness. This is a great medium for them. We've talked about over the years, though, sometimes their donors are now becoming recipients of the service. So how is United Way dealing with that kind of transition? We're seeing
in terms
unemployment.
of, we are an aging economy in many ways. That's what you're talking about. People who retire and then, particularly when they retire and they don't have the income that they used to have. Yeah, I think it's just something that all of us deal with. One of the things that we talked about in our strategic plan and the board went through is we sort of bifurcate the United Way. One piece of it is what we call the humanitarian part. And we will always be that humanitarian organization that provides the mobile meal to the elderly person who's shut in and doesn't have the funds to be able to feed themselves. We're always going to be that agency that provides for a shelter. But in addition to that, and I think in a really important piece is we've got to be an organization that breaks the cycle of poverty. And if we don't do that, then we will just increase poverty. And so we've spent a lot of time in the last 3 years working on how do we as a community wrap around our children better so that more of them graduate.
They're the biggest victim of poverty, aren't they?
You bet.
Yeah.
You bet.
And when you look at kids as an investment for the future, it'll rock our foundation. So what are you excited about
What am I excited about? You know, one of the things I am excited about is our program called United for Children, which is not just about United Way. We, again, if you think of United Way as that platform, we bring together all kinds of organizations, government organizations, for-profits, nonprofits, to look at the condition of our kids and then determine how can we best address the needs of our children. If you look at who's not graduated in Southampton Roads, overwhelmingly, it's children who live in extreme poverty. We have 21,000 children who live at half the federal poverty level. That is the equivalent of a family of 4 at about $11,000 a year.
Wow.
21,000 children. And if you look at our graduation rate, you can track it right back to those kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it just money you're looking for?
Oh no, I mean we have, as we talked about earlier, you know, we have tons of places for volunteers in a variety of different things. We have volunteers who give away the money. We have volunteers who help raise the dollars, and we're so grateful for those volunteers. And again, thousands of people involved on that side of it. We have 35,000 donors. This is not a small organization. So we're constantly looking for people who want to get involved in any variety of ways that they're willing to give their time. We have people who read to children. We have people who work in our shelters. It's just a myriad of places that you can come and be helpful to your neighbors.
Super. Well, David, you're going to be helpful?
We are going to do our best, and I do have to turn the table on you just for a second to thank you, because you are on this year's campaign cabinet. So our campaign cabinet is made up of our 16 chairmen's accounts. Basically, there are 16 organizations, companies, organizations that provide about half of the entire campaign proceeds from 16. So the City of Norfolk is one of them. And really want to take this opportunity to thank the City of Norfolk, to thank you. Also proud for Norfolk to say that we have $2 million club members, 2 companies, organizations that donate more than $1 million, and they're both headquartered in Norfolk. So it's Centera and Norfolk Southern, right? So yes, we are excited to do our part, but there are many, many volunteers, companies, leaders who are coming together to make it happen. So we are very excited.
Well, it's my honor to serve. I'm humbled to serve. And of course, the mayor and city manager, Marcus Jones, strongly believe in the United Way and the kind of support that the fabric of our community that's really strengthened because of community helping community through United Way. Thanks for everything that you guys are doing. Looking forward to getting a report on how we're going toward goal, which is the goal for next year?
We haven't said it yet. You're early. See, we just had our campaign finale,
well,
so
I want you to come back and tell us what the goal is.
You bet.
And what kind of report card we're going to give him as chairman.
That we do know it's a big number.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us.
Great. Thank you, Bob.